Want to know the latest and hottest music hitting the airwaves? Don't be left out. Listen to the Golden State Media Concepts Music Podcast. Jordan and Keith keeps you on the loop with everything you need to know.
Jordan
and Keith.
From pop, rock, hip-hop, and the top 40. And we'll throw in news of your favorite artists, concert and tour dates, and so much more. Listen no further, because this is the gold standard in music podcast.
finally returning after a week-long hiatus. It's the Golden State Media Concepts Music Podcast with Jordan and Keith. And also, last but not least, we also have the amazing and talented Mariano. Nice.
Jeez, okay.
Very cool.
In stereo.
Hey, guys, I know, seriously.
The respect you deserve,
That's
finally.
right. That's right.
Oh, it's about time.
That's what I'm saying, yeah.
All right. So, what are we reviewing today, fellas?
Oh, man.
We've got
music, for one, I'm going to be honest.
Well, thank you for bringing that to my attention.
It's not movies this time, guys.
No,
be careful.
It's not. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday,
Friday.
still,
That's
yeah.
right.
It's 3 Fridays in a row so far this week.
Right? If the whole world can have 3
I know,
Fridays.
it's the best
in a
week
row.
ever so far.
You know it.
Now, we've got 2 Chainz and Lil Wayne's album, Collegrove, and we've got Good Charlotte's Youth Authority. Now, I'm thinking we should start with Good Charlotte and then save 2 Chainz and Lil Wayne for last. What do you guys think?
Sure.
Oh,
Sounds
yeah,
good
no,
to me.
I've got no preference.
Okay.
It's whatever you feel like is best,
So
Mariano.
this is Good Charlotte's first album in 6 years?
Yes, actually, that's spot on. How'd you know that?
Yes. Because I'm kind of psychic. Kind of.
Okay.
What I need to be.
You're wasting your time with this podcast, so
Right?
that's true.
I know,
Yeah.
I'm a medium.
Bigger and better
Can
things.
see the future. Yes.
So, okay, first album in 6 years.
Yes.
It sounds like it's been hasn't been any time at all. I mean,
It does, right? They were a little softer to me, a little softer, but they sounded pretty much the same. And I like Good Charlotte's sound, so that's not a bad thing.
no, it wasn't bad. I actually enjoyed it. I mean, if you like Good Charlotte, it sounds exactly like Good Charlotte. We've had a couple albums that we reviewed where the artist kind of took it in a completely different direction.
Right.
It wasn't a bad thing. It's just, kind of their evolution. And, after 6 years, it seems like you can put these songs next to other Good Charlotte songs, and to somebody who's not a big fan of them, they would go, oh, this is all from the same album. You know what I mean?
I agree because I was listening to this album along with the older albums last night on my way here, and they almost kind of interchange with each other. But this one is just a tad softer to me. But again, it's not bad. I like the older stuff just a teeny bit more. But I'm actually really glad that they still sound so similar because to me this makes it like the first kind of authentic punk album I've heard in since the last one.
And it seemed very nostalgic. I feel like that's something this is going to do to you if you kind of grew up around Good Charlotte being in every movie trailer. Or for me, I remember that game, Donkey Konga. You remember that? Where the bongos, you hit them?
I remember Donkey Kong, but I don't remember Donkey
they
Kong.
gave you
Donkey Konga
it's kind
was
of
a
like
game with
Guitar
bongo
Hero,
drums,
but they
right.
gave you bongo drums, and
Okay.
there was a Good Charlotte song in there, and that's what I really started liking Good Charlotte, like listening to it by myself. But it's funny, I would have never remembered that weird childhood moment where I was playing a video game with bongos until I was listening to this album, and a lot of just because you have no idea of how much Good Charlotte was in your childhood, how much it was everywhere at that time, you just start remembering little random things about being 8 again.
Okay.
It reminded me. It was a nostalgic feeling, but it reminded me of "Dude, Where's My Car" because the Good Charlotte songs.
And
that are in
see,
the movie.
yeah, and that's the crazy thing because I feel like Good Charlotte kind of embodies the early 2000s, really.
Yeah, they were pretty big for a while. I remember the anthem was big too.
So, and do you think you said this? We're both agreeing this is exactly like a Good Charlotte album.
Yes.
Do you, besides a little bit softer, a little bit slower, do you think that this is better? Do you think that if you put this next to their other stuff, besides it feeling like it's the same thing, do you think it's an improvement or?
I like the other stuff a tiny bit better, but this isn't. I mean, that's not a huge downgrade. It sounds really good, and I think the fact that it came out in 2016 and it sounds like a legit Good Charlotte punk album makes it very precious to me.
Yeah, I can see that. Well, what do you think, Keith?
I didn't care for any of this record at all.
No. Do you like older Good Charlotte?
No.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so and
It was
that makes sense. You're
it
not
was
going to be able
very
to.
painful for me to hear this record.
Well, now you know how I felt last week.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't
Still don't
I
understand.
didn't-
You still don't like the Avalanches? I forgot to do an update on that.
He doesn't. No, I don't like the Avalanche.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't
all right.
care for any of this record at all. Not one song.
Yeah.
So, but it's not my thing. Like I said,
I can understand that because
So-
this sounds like so much like Good Charlotte. You know, if someone like says they don't like sushi, and then the next person's response is, "Yeah, but you haven't had the right sushi." You
Oh,
need to have
I know.
one. There's this octopus thing and things like that. Good Charlotte's not like that. If you didn't like that one Good Charlotte song, you're nearly guaranteed not to like any other Good Charlotte
See,
songs.
and for me, and it's just not punk for me. It's just, to me, it's just bad pop music. They did one song with NERD Nerd, Pharrell and Chad Hugo's group off of Fly or Die. They did a track with them that I actually liked them on. But I think it was Greg and Benji Madden. I think it was just the two of the guys from Good Charlotte. I enjoyed them on that track, but this album, I didn't care for it at all. It just made me, once again, appreciate Green Day. But even going past Green Day, it's, just for our listeners, I love punk rock music. I love old school punk. I love the Dead Kennedys. I love Fear, Black Flag,
Bad Religion.
Yeah, so the Misfits. So the Clash. So I like all of that. Even the Sex Pistols. But so when it came to, I guess, this new wave of punk music, the second or third, I got a little bit lost. The whole Good Charlotte thing. I was, I like the title of it, Youth Authority, and I get that, and but. Even the cover art reminds me, it's very reminiscent of a Sex Pistols cover for Nevermind the Bullocks to me. But yeah, I didn't feel it at all. It's just not my thing. I didn't care for it. It just, nothing moved me. The production was just, to me it was just bad pop music.
Well, I feel like you compare any punk band to Green Day, it's probably not going to live up. Especially with everyone else.
And Green Day is still a newer punk band, but go ahead. I'm
right.
Uh-huh.
No, but it's just Green Day. I never really thought of them that much until you brought them up against Blink-182 because I love Blink-182. But the more I think about it, Green Day is probably going to be like an all-time great.
Yeah,
for
their generation,
right?
For their generation, they are.
Yeah, I think so, and I think it has more wide appeal than Good Charlotte has. Good Charlotte feels like it fits more into a certain shape.
They call it punk, but I never felt that way about them. I think it's a pop group, but but hey, like I said, you guys, listening to you guys are really into it, and I respect that. This album is definitely not for me. I try, but it's not for me.
I'm not necessarily crazy about it, but I like Good Charlotte, so I see the appeal. It's not like this is something that I'm always going to keep returning to. We've had albums like that, still listening to the Avalanches, but with this album, I enjoyed listening to it. It wasn't like it was painful. I didn't relate to it that, but I don't see myself really going back to it again.
Yeah, I didn't mean to be so descriptive. I'm sorry for those.
No, it's fine. No, I'm glad. I like it when you're descriptive.
I had a.
You've got a beautiful soul somewhere in there, Keith.
Thanks, I appreciate that. But
I'm sorry. You know what it was for me? Again, since it's 2016, this album had some good, it had good, punk style energy.
Well, and that's cool. Like I said, speak your truths. Because this, Good Charlotte is a group.
It was almost like a time capsule to me because it sounds so
that's what I felt like, a time capsule.
They've been around for how long now? Because
that's a perfect
it's
way.
2016. They've been around for since 2000?
Yeah, a long time.
Okay, so at this point they are veterans in what they're doing, just like Blink-182, and I respect that. And I'm not going to ever tell people to stop doing what you do, especially when you're a musician or an artist. This is all you know, so keep on doing what you do. I would love to see what they would sound like with a different producer, but I just don't care for that style of music. I felt like it all ran together for me. At least on that Blink-182 album, there was maybe one song I liked, I think, or two. But yeah, like I said, these guys make me appreciate, because to me, if there seems to be a whole movement with the whole power pop punk thing. And Good Charlotte and Blink-182 seem to be at the forefront of that. And I felt like...
Would you agree that Blink-182 seems a little more punk than Good Charlotte? Like
To
maybe
me,
maybe not
they
that
were the same band.
maybe
bro.
not that latest album, but
For me, they were like the same band, but I haven't heard Adam's song, and I heard good things about that song.
Yeah.
So I still need to hear that. I would like to hear Blink-182's very first record. I never heard that, so I am curious about that. But yeah, I mean, when I hear Good Charlotte and Blink-182 right now, and when they came on the scene, to me, it was just like the same band. But I'm done talking about that. So.
no, you're fine.
Yeah.
Well, that actually works perfectly because we have a commercial break coming right here.
That
so-
is
Okay.
correct.
All right.
Yeah, so when we come back, we are going to be reviewing our other album, right? Is that what we're doing?
Yes, 2 Chainz, Lil Wayne, Collegrove.
Collegrove. All right.
All right.
See you guys soon.
Want to find out what movies to go see? Then check out the GSMC Movie Podcast. It's your ticket to the latest movies, whether it's a new blockbuster event, romantic, comedy, or action flick. This show has got it all covered. They talk some what to go see now, don't bother, what's hot on Netflix, and everything in between. That's gsmcpodcast.com/movie-podcast. When it's all about the movies, it has to be this new show. Don't forget to like them on Facebook and follow them on Twitter. Visit gsmcpodcast.com for more info.
And we are back. I am Captain Keith with Mariano
Hola.
and Jordan.
How's it going, guys?
Great. We just talked about the new Good Charlotte record called Youth Authority, their first album in 6 years. And, you know, Mariano and Jordan, they like the album. It's 2 against 1. That's cool. So you guys should check this album out. If you guys are Good Charlotte fans, apparently you will not be disappointed.
You won't be disappointed.
So
I
so-
think it's a generational thing. I think,
and
It's,
that's okay with
yeah.
that. I mean, it's okay. I mean, because there's going to be some things that I love and some things I don't, and I gotta speak my truth, I suppose, right?
Definitely.
So I tell you guys.
That's the important part. Yeah.
Yeah. So our next CD on deck is the new collaboration between 2 Chainz and Lil Wayne, Collegegrove. So this is, 2 Chainz from Atlanta. Lil Wayne, I believe, is from Louisiana.
From New Orleans.
Oh, Lil Wayne.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So he's one of Jordan's peoples.
Yeah. Good old Lil Wayne. We all know him.
Yes. So, fellas, what you think of this collabo album? Be honest.
Can I start?
Go
Yeah.
for it.
Okay. The thing about this album is that I love this album. I thought it was
All right.
really good.
You had me worried because I
was-
really
all right.
liked it too.
I wanted to set it
all
up that
right.
way. Okay, so first things first. 2 Chainz, an Atlanta rapper. Atlanta rappers always have that kind of grittier, more beat-driven, bass-driven type sound. But it's rare, almost since E40, in my opinion, have I heard an Atlanta rapper that actually has decent bars. Lil Wayne, we know, is already solidified as, in my opinion, the best rapper currently alive.
Wow.
And
all right.
And
Okay.
the best kind of musician right now is Drake, and I compare him to him because every time they're in a song together, Lil Wayne kills him. Every time he outshines everyone because he takes risks. The tempos are always different. The rhymes, he's the only rapper good enough right now. His rhymes are still good, but can be funny at the same time.
Who, Lil Wayne?
Yeah, Lil Wayne.
All right. Where do you see 2 Chainz?
2 Chainz, he's nowhere around there.
I want for my birthday.
But when you think of let me throw some Georgia rappers at you. Gucci Mane,
Uh-huh.
E40,
But E40's not from Georgia, bro.
T.I. But he has that like ATL kind of sound.
Okay.
T.I.'s an ATL rapper, and
Yeah.
they have the more kind of beat driven kind of, you know what I mean? Like it's more like hypey type music, like the southern sort of,
Okay.
or like Paul
Because
Wall.
trap music is it's the Southern hip hop is basically kind of like dominating right now. with
Exactly.
Trap music. So,
But
they-
it's rare. I think since T.I. That I thought lyricists like from that kind of subgenre, they have that that lyrical capability, which I think as a rapper you should have ultimately, All
right.
And I think that Lil Wayne definitely elevated 2 Chainz. Like one of my favorite songs was Bounce, when they keep going back and forth and it almost sounded like a battle.
Okay.
And I was watching actually the music video for that one, and the video was good too. To see them bounce off of each other, but it was like Lil Wayne kind of drove the pace. They gave verse for verse, and the structure of the verses were kind of the same. like they do a verse and they sound kind of similar in terms of the speed and tempo. And then Lil Wayne does a new verse and it's faster, but then 2 Chainz meets it faster. And it, and
so they're feeding
So it's
off
like
each other.
dueling banjos.
exactly.
Yeah, they're feeding off each other.
Right, and it built very well to me.
All right.
And the thing is, I wasn't really, at least, a big fan of 2 Chainz. I liked No Lie with Drake, but other than that, he's a good trap song creator. But
A birthday song is still a guilty pleasure, bro. It's a guilty pleasure.
well, I have a few.
love that
I have a
song.
few guilty pleasures. I have a few songs from 2 Chainz that are guilty pleasures.
Yeah.
But I'll put it this way: Drake, Big Sean, 2 Chainz. 2 Chainz was
And nothing was the same where he's on Drake's album. All Me, he's good on that verse too.
Oh, sorry, that's what I was referring to just
All
now
Me,
because
yeah.
Big Sean's in All Me too.
Yeah,
Um,
they kill it. Yeah, they
right.
both kill it in that verse.
Well, that's the song that I was
Yeah.
referring to because Drake, 2 Chainz, Big Sean.
Yeah.
Which of those verses was the weakest?
Say it again.
All Me.
Well, no. The question or the statement.
Which of those verses was the weakest on All Me? To me, it was 2 Chainz, and by far.
No, 2 Chainz was great on that.
I didn't.
He had me cracking up.
It was
He
good.
had me cracking up. I mean, but
Normally you guys say that I'm pitting things against each other. I know that you're not pitting them against each other. You're just comparing who's the best. But I think really they complemented each other, and that was something that
that's supposed to be the whole point.
It's a hard
I
time
believe.
saying.
That's the whole point.
And that's
Go
all.
ahead.
It's a hard time saying oh, he did a better job than that, because sometimes it felt like they had this cooperation. I think what really showed was how great they worked together in this. I mean, this was a collaboration. I didn't realize how much I wanted to see happen until I heard it, and
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay, so-
I agree.
I loved it too. I liked the album. I feel it was good.
I agree. And in terms of the other song, it's not so much pitting them against each other. It's just that you have 3 rappers that are all kind of in the forefront of the new wave.
Yeah.
And to me, look at all of their kind of catalogs, and who stands a little flat? Big Sean, no. Drake, no. 2 Chainz, he's not quite there yet. Is the thing. In terms of the other 2. But this album, what I'm trying to say, is really elevated his status in my view.
Okay. Yeah.
All right.
So
you guys-
he's there
So
now.
that's-
That was one
So
solid
you
album.
like 2 Chainz more now? How did you feel about him before this album? Do you feel like there was a big transformation?
I didn't dislike him. It's not even a big transformation. The bars just weren't there. I mean, they're not terrible.
But he got your attention.
Yeah,
now?
exactly. Well, he always had my attention because he was a good song maker.
Okay.
And he had good features with other. I'll put it
Right.
this way. This is how I saw 2 Chainz. 2 Chainz makes good songs and puts good rappers on his songs.
So how do you see him now after listening to Collegrove?
2 Chainz is a good rapper with other
There you
rappers on
go.
his songs.
So mission accomplished.
Mission
2 Chainz.
accomplished,
He
yeah.
made you into a fan. If
Oh
you weren't
yeah.
Before.
Yep.
Okay, and that's what a rapper.
This
any
album,
artist
this
wants to
whole
do.
album is going
Okay, I
straight to
can
my
respect
workout
that.
playlist.
And Jordan.
Well, I feel like this is an album that I'm gonna keep going back to. This is something that
Wow. Okay.
I enjoyed it a lot. I think they played off of each other well. It was just really good throughout. There was a lot of songs where I had to stop myself and go oh, whoa, what was that? I was in the shower, and I got out of the shower just so I could see what song I was listening to for one of them.
Wow.
It was,
Okay.
there was stuff that I immediately, I've saved it on. I want to keep listening to it throughout. It was just a good album, and it's hard to just say, it's hard to say what stood out the most to me that made it that. And I guess there's a couple factors. What I really loved, though, is, you see some collab albums when it comes to rap, and it almost does feel like a competition because they're not really working together in that sense. This time, it feels like there's this kind of unity that's going towards the tracks. Do you understand what I'm saying?
I do understand what you're saying, and I think that Lil Wayne, you know how a great, they say in basketball, if you're good, you play good. If you're great, you make everyone else better.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think Lil Wayne is the one to elevate anyone.
Those are strong words, bro.
He's the only rapper I can think
You
of.
feel
off the
like
top.
he's an elevator?
I don't feel that way about him at all. But
No.
I'm
Do you
listening.
like
but,
Lil Wayne?
But let me just say though that.
I like some of Lil Wayne's stuff.
But let me just say that he's the only rapper I can think of right now who has an album in the top 500 of all time.
Well, yeah, I can see
there's
that.
no denying
Sure.
There's no denying his lyrical genius almost. And
Really?
yeah, I think so. I mean,
All
even
right.
and here's the thing of even if you come from love it or hate it, it is still new and it is still creative and it is still good. Think of what it means to rap, to rhyme, to tell stories while rhyming with good metaphors, and it's good.
Okay.
Now I know a lot of people that don't like him for his voice or his content or whatever, but as a rapper, You know?
Well, he started off at what 15 or 14?
And he was killing back then. I remember listening to like the Carter and the Carter 2, and those were killer when he was still with Birdman.
He did what, bling bling? He created that terminology,
right?
Apparently. All right, Jordan. So
I don't think I have any complaints for it. I mean, just
okay.
Like I said, it felt like they worked off together. I would love to see another album with Lil Wayne and 2 Chainz.
I have one, not even complaint. I just one wish. It was, I wish they would have featured. I wish they would have featured more people. Like, it'd have been nice if at least a couple of the songs had some other high caliber rappers in it on top of them. You know?
All right. So, well, in regards to my review, I didn't care for this album at all.
No, the whole thing?
The whole thing was painful for me.
Really?
Yeah.
Both of these albums were terrible for you.
Yes. This album made me... I like some...
Are we still talking about the Lil Wayne's and 2 Chainz album?
Yes.
Okay, I don't know if I lost my place in
so 2 Chainz and Lil Wayne, Collegrove. So for both of these rappers, I have liked some of their previous works. I wanted more from this than what I got. I felt shortchanged.
Okay.
This album, there wasn't one song on here that I liked at all. I didn't care for the production. I thought the production for me was kind of like
here and there?
It was this bad trap music. It was like low budget trap production to me. This album made me appreciate Kanye West and Jay-Z's Watch the Throne even more.
Well,
it made me want to go back and listen to that record.
Well, that's a good record, though,
yeah,
too.
Because but that's because when you think, so there are 2 classic hip-hop collabo albums for me, and that's Watch the Throne from Jay-Z and Kanye West, and Black Star, which is Mos Def and Talib Kweli. So those to me were great collabo records. This album, like I said, it was painful for me. I was very disappointed. I didn't care for it at all. But like I said, I felt like they could do better than what they did. I didn't like it lyrically at all. It just, it made me appreciate Watch the Throne. I hate to say it, but it did. It really did. It made me appreciate that record because I felt like Watch the Throne set a whole new standard for rap collabos. The Method Man, Redman records. I was going to say disappointing for me. They could do better than what they did. The first album had maybe 1 or 2 tracks on it that I liked.
The Rockwilder?
Yeah, exactly. The second album, I think I liked it better, but I still don't remember. I have to go back and listen to it again. And I think, like I said, but it's good that you guys liked it and you guys were able to connect to it. I wasn't able to connect to it. I think Lil Wayne can be a good rapper when he wants to be. I think he gets too easily distracted. I wonder if 2 Chainz. I feel like a lot of times that he is more concerned with perception than what he should be saying. I feel like I could get more from him than what I'm getting.
That's how I felt about him.
Okay. And me too, actually. If you asked me how I felt about 2 Chainz before this album, I really wouldn't have. I mean, I said I would have listened to one of the songs, but there's nothing really that really stands out to me where I can keep going back to it.
Exactly.
This is the first album where I'm going to give him a chance now. This was
that's good.
Was good, yeah.
Mission accomplished.
Yeah.
He did what he was supposed to do, and I commend them both for getting together to do this. I just think, for me, I think they could have done more than what they did. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, it didn't do anything for me. But it's cool. But you guys like it 2-1. So that means that we recommend this record then. So
yeah.
it is.
I recommend it.
Yeah.
Or we recommend this record.
If you want to see 2 Chainz put his big boy rapper pants on, buy this album.
So Collegrove, because I stumbled upon this by accident. I didn't even know it came out. So I'm glad that I went to the record store and I saw it. I'm like, okay, we got to review this because everyone was going to want to know what it's like and what it's about. So
happy mistake.
Yeah. So like I said, for me, it might get like a 2, but like I said, that's me. But I'm outnumbered 2-1. So yeah. So there it is.
I think I'm gonna go with like a 9.
Okay.
I'm gonna go like 8.5 or so.
That's cool. Yeah.
Perfect. We'll jump into that a little more, but we do need to take one more quick commercial break.
Okay.
Oh man.
Tired of searching the vast jungle of podcasts? Now listen close and hear this out. There's a podcast network that covers just about everything that you've been searching. Hey! The Golden State Media Concepts Podcast Network is here. Nothing less than a podcast bliss with endless hours of podcast coverage. From news, sports, music, fashion, cooking, entertainment, fantasy, football, and so much more. So stop lurking around and go straight out to the Golden State Media Concepts Podcast Network. Guaranteed to fill that podcast itch. Whatever it may be. Visit us at www.gsmcpodcast.com. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter, and download us on iTunes, SoundCloud, and Google Play.
Hey, everybody. I mean, everyone's listening. Welcome back. It's the Golden State Media Concepts Music Podcast. Still Jordan. And we just talked about 2 albums. Count them, 2 albums.
Wait, 1. Oh, okay.
There you go. Thank you. Fact checker here, Mr. Mariano. And usual skeptical, Mr. Keith.
Usual.
I'll be that for today. So, yeah. So, for me, this is the first podcast where it's a no-go on both CDs, dude. I'm sorry.
Is this the first time that's happened to you? For
yes.
Wait, but since you dislike them both, Island Test. And death is not an option.
I'm going to pick up Watch the Throne and listen to that. I'm not listening to either one.
Oh, come on,
If I had to pick
You had to pick
between
one.
these 2?
Yeah. And why?
Man.
Because if someone has the same musical taste as you and doesn't like either one, you know?
That's a good one. Yeah, because I don't care for either record at all. One is rock and one is hip hop.
Do you want us to come back to you?
I guess I would have to go with the Good Charlotte record.
Okay. Why?
Because I might dislike that one just a little less than I do the 2 Chainz Lil Wayne album.
Okay.
Like I said, I felt that album was just subpar.
Okay.
It's just
Yeah.
like I said, I'm gonna probably listen to Watch the Throne again this weekend, and hope that they make a sequel to that. So because that's a great record.
Look, Keith, I totally understand where you're coming from with the Good Charlotte album, at least, because I imagine that if I didn't grow up when I did, if that that song wasn't like shoved down my throat with every movie trailer, every kids movie, every game, I would probably, I don't know how I'd feel about it, but I know, and I say that because when I listen to this album now, I don't get a lot of appreciation of this being new music, of this being something to like devour and take this from it and take that from it. I just get something that reminds me of being a kid again, which honestly would probably make that on my desert island sooner, just because I'll be able to think of happy times like that, you know?
Oh, yeah.
But as far as something that you can kind of like digest and like listen to and have like a lot of substance, I think Collegrove would definitely be the winner out of those.
Well, I'm happy for you guys. It's all good.
For me too.
I just can't,
And I like Good Charlotte's album. Collegrove is just there's more like food for thought in there, because if you really dissect it like bar for bar, there's a lot of good lyrics.
I would recommend you guys, in regards to like punk rock music, I would recommend you guys check out anything from the Dead Kennedys, they're also from.
Oh, I know that. I like the Dead Kennedys,
and I know
and anything from the Clash.
I'm not a huge fan of the Clash, but I do like the Sex Pistols.
Okay.
And I really love Bad Religion.
All right. Right on.
I love Bad Religion as well. I mean, but no, I like all the bands you're talking about. They're incredibly different artists compared to Good Charlotte, but that's because Good Charlotte came in this time during the 2000s where we kind of reinvented punk in a way to make it more
they think
poppy.
They did, but for me, they didn't. For me, that's not how it gets reinvented for me. To me, that was just pop music. But that's just how I feel in that regard. I mean, when you listen to Dead Kennedys, or you listen to Bad Brains, or you listen to Fear,
or Bowling for Soup,
you hear nothing but attitude, straight up attitude and anger, and it's focused, it's rebellious. There's a message. I mean, there's blues. It goes straight for the jugular. Period. I mean, you can feel it. You can feel it. I felt nothing from the Good Charlotte record. I felt nothing from the Blink-182 record. I just felt nothing at all. I was just I couldn't wait for it to end.
I felt like wanting to get a Kool-Aid and playing a Nintendo 64.
But yeah, so it's all good, man. But yeah, I mean, those things, those are the albums that, in regards to when I think of punk rock, I think about that. I think about Iggy And
Oh,
the
I like
Stooges,
Iggy.
I think the Stooges, Iggy Pop. I think of that. I think of old school MC5.
That song, The Passenger. I love that song.
Yeah. And that's his. And that's his solo stuff.
Yeah, that's his solo
We're not
stuff.
even talking about the Stooges like with Funhouse.
Yep, or with
Give Me Danger. A little,
I'm Sick of
Yeah,
You.
but
Yes,
but those
or-
are two different directions. I mean, you can. They're kind of polar
But
opposites.
punk rock
in a
is
lot.
very specific, though, man. Punk rock is very specific in regards to the genre that it is.
I think punk rock, just like anything else, became incredibly popular, and it took off in these certain different branches that were influenced roots of it. Kind of like how you can say rock and roll used to be blues guitars and folk singers, and then it turned into Black Sabbath. They're not the same things, but they're the predecessors of what came to be.
Well, see, rock and roll has different sub branches. You could say that punk rock does, and people might argue that it doesn't.
And
people
punk
might
rock
argue
was
that
a
it
sub
does.
branch of rock, and this is Bowling for Soup, Good Charlotte, bands like that. That's a sub, it's a group.
Yeah,
from
but I think
punk
if you
rock.
ask old school punkers, they're going to be like,
Oh,
"That's
of course
punk at
not,
all."
no, but-
they're going to be like, there's punkers who don't like Green Day, so it just depends. It's all the perspective. It's all about the perspective. So I can dig it, but that's not. I can't relate to that, but I've tried, but I can't. And like I said, Collegrove, man, like I said, I do like both rappers. I think they can do better than what they did. But if they reached the two of you guys, they did their job. So
I think Lil Wayne, he's already done some very good stuff. Not that this one.
I like the Carter 3.
Not that this one was anything like lackluster, but to me, 2 Chainz is the one that stepped up. The only reason I'm not saying Lil Wayne stepped up is because he already had stepped up.
Yeah, and I feel like he's been slacking for years.
I feel like I do in the later years.
Slacking for years.
In the little in
Every
the
blue moon he pops up.
well, I felt like
On Hell Yeah with Drake. Oh, I love him on that track.
I like him on that track, but I agree that in recent songs, some of them not so recent, but like in a couple years ago, maybe I was starting to feel that Lil Wayne. I fell off for a little while for Lil Wayne. And he kind of just came back. Think of Only, his verse there, Truffle Butter. You're right with Hyper. Man.
Yeah, so like I said, he's done some stuff in the past, but like I said, for me, Watch the Throne set a whole new standard for hip hop collabos between two MCs.
I think the Wu-Tang Clan is.
But that's a group. I'm talking about two MCs make one collaborative record.
Gotcha. Okay.
So a group is different in that regard. So that's a whole different conversation that we can have. Like I said, I feel Method Man and Redman are amazing, but I feel like they could do better than what they did because they're amazing already. And I didn't get that, but I got that with Watch the Throne. Now, if there was a Watch the Throne 2, it might not be as good as the first one. That would be the danger, ironically, with that. But yeah, I felt like that just set a whole new standard. And I feel like if you listen to Black Star, which is the beginning of Mos Def and Talib Kweli,
Talib Kweli, yeah.
That's an amazing collabo record.
It is, but those are two amazing rappers. To me, it was an amazing rapper and 2 Chainz, but 2 Chainz. But no, that's how I used to feel. But 2 Chainz stepped up. I don't know about amazing rapper.
Right. Well, so but he made you listen. I mean, he made you notice.
Definitely.
So like I said, so it's all good. So 2-1. So the album is recommended. So.
Yeah, no, definitely recommended.
Oh yeah, and coming
Same
from someone
with
who didn't
Charlotte.
like 2 Chainz, it's actually highly recommended.
Yeah. So.
Good Charlotte if you're at a certain age, or at least if back then.
Well,
when it hadn't
like
affected
I
you.
said, there are people who are fans like you guys. There's lots of people. I mean, so I'm not going to hate on them. I'm not trying to hate.
I'm not
for me.
necessarily a fan of Good Charlotte as much as I'm a fan of being 8 years old. Like I said,
Can I just say for people who may be listening who this isn't really so much an opinion on how Good Charlotte was, good or bad, but to give them just kind of a clear idea. This album for Good Charlotte sounds really similar, for better or worse than their older stuff. So if you liked old Good Charlotte, grab it. It's pretty much a continuation.
So it brings it back for you.
Exactly.
Yeah. So yeah, right on. Like I said, so it's good. It's good. We don't always agree. So yeah, it's all good for me. It's a no-go on either. So
okay, yeah.
But it's just, it's just one of those things.
Just one of those things.
Definitely. But I'm glad we reviewed those records because they needed to be reviewed because they came out. So.
I liked this
And
crop.
like I said, it's the first time. Yeah, so these were winners for you guys. So.
And you know what it means when we reviewed 2 records on one episode?
What's that mean?
What's that?
We get to end it because it is officially out of time.
So, Jordan, where can you find us?
You can find us actually a couple places, Keith. I'm glad you asked. GSMCpodcast.com.
Right on.
To name a couple.
Okay.
Twitter. You can follow us on Twitter.
Okay.
Like us on Facebook.
Okay.
SoundCloud.
Right on.
iTunes. Google Play. Instagram. There we go. That's the other
is
one.
not
Thank
one
you.
of them. We never heard of Snah. That might be a new one coming. But
Yeah,
Snah.com. But go ahead.
It's a crowdfunding. It's really taking a lot of attention. But until next time, guys, we will see you somewhere out in space.
Oh, dude.
You know, I said that without you there in one of the other episodes, and I couldn't get it right. So for 3 times, I was like, "See you out." How does he say it again?
That's funny.
Yeah.
All right. Right on.
See you guys next time.
Thanks again.